Hello and welcome back to this tutorial series on OOP with Java, and in this video we are going to be talking about overriding. And we have done some overriding before, but I didn't take a dedicated theory session for it, and I just wanted to clear a few points about overriding and also talk about the final keyword in this video. So uh, overriding is basically it means that a child class can redefine the behavior of a parent method. So riding is child class can redefine behavior of a parent method. So one example of this is the rectangle class that we looked at had a print details method, and that print detail was a little different from the print details method that we wanted in the square class. So what we did there was overriding. So we had a rectangle class rectangle with a void print details, sorry about that, print details, and we wanted to have a subclass of this, the square class, and we wanted this square class to have a print details method too, but this was slightly different from the print details in the rectangle class. So void print details. So these two methods look exactly the same. What we've done here is that we've overridden the print details method of the rectangle class, which is the parent class, in the square class, which is the child class or the subclass. So we could give this print details whatever definition we want. We could do a system.out.println and print the side or something. So this is what overriding means, and overriding can also be done with variables. So it is possible overriding variables, overriding variables. So this is possible, but this is a kind of a bad practice, because what we are doing when we override a variable is that we're hiding the value of the variable that was there in the parent class. So this is also called hiding variables, and this should not be mistaken with something else, which is shadowing variables. So shadowing variables, that's a different concept altogether. Hiding variables means that a subclass or a child class has um, has an attribute or a variable with the exact same name as a variable in the parent class, whereas shadowing variables just means having a variable in a smaller scope or in a more local scope, where the variable already exists in a larger scope. So that's what shadowing variables means, and these two are not the same, and they should not be mistaken with each other. And next I want to talk about the final keyword. So here I have the final keyword, and the f in final should be lowercase. That's the keyword that we have in Java. And what the final keyword does is it has three things. It has uh, a final keyword associated with a class. There's a final keyword associated uh, with an attribute, and there's a final keyword associated with methods. So let's look at the method part first. So the final keyword in a method means that the method cannot be overridden, cannot be overridden, and the final keyword in an attribute means that it's a constant value. So constant value, and it's a good practice to make variables which are final in all uppercase. That's the convention that we follow. And the third thing we have with the final keyword is the final keyword associated with a class. A final keyword associated with a class means that the class cannot be inherited. So if I had something like cannot be inherited, so if we had something like a final class rectangle, we would not be able to create a subclass of that, which is the class square. So that's what the final keyword means in these three cases. And I think that's it for this video. This was just a short video to uh, point out some things about overriding and introduce the final keyword. In the next video, we'll be talking about class relationships, which we took a brief look at in the UML classes, in the UML hands-on tutorial as well. So I'll see you in the next video.